Hi everyone, my name is Tomas Nouges. I'm a PhD student from Argentina. I would like to thank the organizer for the opportunity to discuss with you these very important topics, and I hope that the case of Argentina contributes to this conference. So, the growing preponderance of finance in the current socioeconomic dynamics is a diagnosis shared by a wide spectrum of studies focused on the nexus between the financial system, the economy, and everyday life. Within them, the entanglement between welfare policies and finance in contemporary state is one of the least explored topics that need to be further developed. The findings that I present here are a preliminary result of my PhD thesis, whose aim is twofold. On the one hand, it focuses on the trajectory of the financialization of Argentina's welfare policies and accounts for its cumulative but transformative reform. On the other hand, it analyzes how the financialization process gradually shaped a new paradigm of welfare provision that is defined by the introduction and expansion of financial tools, especially credit technologies, as a means of social policy, which I propose to call social Debtfare policies. In this video, I reflect on some of the main aspects of the latest transformations that social policies have undergone, especially attending to the intertwining between finance and public assistance. Drawing on the case of Argentina, I analyze some consequences of the adoption of financial tools as social policy means. Time is short, so I will have to rush with the analysis. If you want to know more about the research, please feel free to write to me. You will find my email at the last slide. So, in the last decade, Argentina's policymakers have incorporated financial capability and asset building as policy aims. Drawing on international and local experiences, the experts adopted credit as a key policy instrument to address multiple social issues, such as unemployment, low consumption rates, and housing deficit. But credit is not a neutral instrument that can be translated from finance to public assistance devoid of its material and symbolic implications. Furthermore, I argue that the institutionalization of credit as a policy means has promoted profound changes in the welfare policy scheme. Before moving on, it is necessary to make a brief theoretical clarification about the notions underpinning my analysis. Welfare provision can be defined as the way in which the state, together with the market, families, and community, seeks to manage social risk and guarantee adequate living conditions for its citizens. That is, to provide directly or indirectly the means for the satisfaction of social needs. The legal framework provided by international treaties and national regulation settles a right relation between the state and the citizens. The counterpart of citizens' right to satisfy their social needs is a state obligation to fulfill them. This commitment entails a series of obligations related to the respect, protection, and realization of economic, social, and cultural rights. The titularity of this right constitutes a social debt whose structure is composed of the obligations that the state has towards citizens in terms of satisfying the needs recognized by law. This debt relation settles the state as a debtor and citizens as creditors. Social security and welfare policies, of course, are the main means of state compliance with the social debt. In Argentina, credit was initially incorporated as a marginal and compensatory policy tool, but gradually promoted profound changes on social policies paradigm. As a result, credit became a central tool of welfare programs targeted to the working poor. I propose to call this kind of social policy social Debtfare policies, insofar as they have a set of features which differentiate them from other policies. The emergence of these social Debtfare policies establishes a new modality of relationship between the welfare state and its beneficiaries, that is, a debt relation in which the figure of the state as a debtor of economic, social, and cultural rights, to which the citizen is a creditor, is replaced by the figure of the state as a creditor of the debt that borrowers assume to meet their social needs. This relationship is different from the right relation I referred to before. In this kind of welfare programs, the terms of the relations are reversed. The state is consolidated as a creditor of the beneficiaries that are positioned as debtors. The state attempts to fulfill its obligation regarding economic, social, and cultural rights by loan delivery. As a result, the state's social debt is replaced by a financial debt that befalls the public assistance beneficiaries. Such a debt relationship generates a state externalization of cost and risk. First, it entails a partial transfer of the cost of public assistance, insofar as the beneficiary must return the loan's money plus interest. Hence, he must assume a part of the cost structure of the program. Second, there is a delegation of responsibility for the success of the program, as the policy sustainability depends on a successful loan collection. Therefore, it relies on the repayment capacity of the beneficiaries. Finally, the delegation of responsibility entails the individualization of risk, since the beneficiaries must develop appropriate calculability frameworks to avoid risk associated with indebtedness, such as over-indebtedness and delinquency. Conducting the analysis of the welfare programs in my PhD research, I found three main transformations produced by the employment of credit as a policy tool, namely capitalization, collateralization, and commodification. Capitalization is linked to the establishment of a profitable financial business based on social policies implementation. This business can benefit different intervening actors, state, NGOs, companies, etc. This aspect is closely related to the transfer of cost programs to the beneficiary, since the deployment of credit technologies allows to carry out a financial business based on loans delivery and recovery. Collateralization refers to the use of the income granted through social programs as a guarantee of loans repayment. When dealing with programs that employ credit technologies, the role played by the transfer income as a repayment guarantee is central. This aspect is closely related to the delegation of responsibility implied on a debt relation. Collateralization is a way of ensuring compliance with the debt commitments. Finally, commodification refers to the degree of relation settled between the programs and the satisfaction of basic needs through the market. Linked to the risk individualization, these programs consolidate debt as a mechanism of access to welfare, in such a way that people must not only attend to the market to meet their social needs, but also to obtain the necessary financial means to do so. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to deploy the analysis of each program, so I will share with you an overall conclusion of my research. The incorporation of financial tools, technologies, and know-how shaped a new modality of welfare policy that I propose to call social debtfare policies. This set of heterogeneous programs produced a financialization of economic, social, and cultural rights, since the state response to certain social demands is of a financial nature. Through public loan delivery, the social debt of the state is transferred to the citizens. As a result, the state turns into a creditor and the welfare beneficiaries became debtors. Faced with the right to decent work, housing, quality education, or basic goods and services, the state response is disbursement of credits. Hence, social debtfare policies reformulate the terms of the debt relation between state and citizens. The figure of the state as a debtor of economic, social, and cultural rights against which the citizen is a creditor is replaced by the figure of the state as a creditor of the debt that the working poor assume to meet their social needs. Well, thank you very much for your time.